You gotta listen to this. I mean, this is really interesting. So just a few days ago, there was a middle school that was evacuated in Little Rock, Arkansas because of a plug-in scented freshener. I mean, that's such an oxymoron. A scented plug-in toxic thing, right? So this was in a middle school. The 7th and 8th graders were getting sick. The teachers were getting sick in the classroom. They didn't know what was going on. They also, this is what's so interesting, they also found low oxygen levels. So these devices are not only endocrine disrupting and affecting our hormones and our thyroid and our liver and our brain and our gut, but they were also causing low oxygen levels in the school. So the people were getting sick and nauseous and dizzy even because they weren't getting adequate oxygen. So I'm sitting here reading this article. It's so interesting. Basically, they went to a day of remote learning. I started scrolling back. This has been happening. This happened in other schools over the years. One was a pumpkin spice air freshener in a high school, making people sick. So, again, we need to get all of those endocrine disrupting chemicals off of our clothes, out of our homes, our cars, classrooms, workplaces. It's just so important. If you're like me, I've lived with chemical sensitivity since the age of 9, now 55. It was oftentimes the biggest instigator to the chronic migraines, those vice grip headaches that kind of have you all that referring pain from the sinus to the occipital. Feels like you have a vice grip on your head, right? Anybody else? Right? It's horrible. And still, recently, 15 minutes in Walmart, I had this day where like everybody and their brother was wearing the strongest perfumes and the detergents off-gassing from their clothes, right? Can cause a headache and sinus pain and nausea and brain fog and so much more. They're even connecting all these toxins in our environment. And I mean the fragrances. I'm talking about the stuff that people buy on purpose and bring into their homes. They're connecting it to heart disease and issues in the brain. Right? We need to get these things out. Our body should be living well till over 100 years old, but we're not. In fact, life expectancy has been going down. Why is that? We can do better, right? So those of us who know, we do better, right? And that's what it's about. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, if you see them using plug-ins or little trees hanging from their rearview mirror in their car, say, get those out. It's time to take a stand against toxic endocrine disrupting chemicals and fragrances, because that's part of it. Fragrances have tons of chemicals in them. People don't realize. We don't want to support those.